Hello, welcome to Andrew Teaches Online. Today we're going to discuss bunkers, most people's big nightmare. To be truthful, we're filming this when it's very, very wet, and the sand therefore is obviously very wet. That makes the sand very heavy, and that adds to the difficulty of bunker shots. Sometimes in the summer months when the sand is nice and dry, you get this powdery sand, makes it much, much easier to play. Also, the amount of sand that's in bunkers can make it easier or more difficult. No sand, it's basically impossible, and too much sand, it's not nice. So different courses, they have different amount of sand. So when you become very skillful, you almost have to make little adjustments to allow for the type of sand that you're playing out of and the condition of the sand, i.e. wet or dry. So I'm just going to run through a real simple basics on a bunker shot. A couple of things that's very important. This is almost like playing a 50-meter pitch shot. So the length of my swing and the tempo of the swing will be like I'm trying to hit the ball 50 meters, but in this particular shot that we're playing here, the flag is only 10 meters away. But what you're going to do is you're going to hit the sand before you hit the ball. This again is so important that you hit down into the sand. The club by definition goes under the ball and the ball pops up and out. You don't have to try to scoop the ball. You don't have to try to lift the ball. Even in very, very deep bunkers, the club is designed to get the ball up in the air very quickly. And if you play the shot correctly, you know, I've been in bunkers where the face of the bunkers is way up here somewhere, and you can just play a shot where it just pops up into the air. So, worst thing you can do in bunkers is try to lift the ball out. To make it sound very simple, you hit sand out of the bunker, and the ball is like a big grain of sand. It just comes out with the rest of it. So if you make a swing where you sort of like hit and stop, sand doesn't get out, the ball will not get out. Whereas you make a swing where you're really pushing a lot of sand out onto the green, the ball comes out with that sand. So, the technique must stand open. And when you stand to the ball, you turn your body to get it out of the way. So you stand open. You also, really good idea to lay the club face open. By open, I mean that the club face points a little bit to the right. And with an open club face, you add loft to the club so the ball gets up in the air much quicker. And therefore, even the steepest of bunkers you can get the ball out of. You can make such a swing where you stand so open that you can even balance a glass of beer on the club face without spilling any. So, open club face, open body, weight goes onto your left foot, so it's a good idea to bend your knees into the shot a little bit so you feel as if you're leaning forwards. You don't turn your shoulders to swing the club away, but you basically just pick the club up. So as you swing the club away, you use a lot of wrist movement to make this 90-degree angle very early on in your swing. This is not a normal swing where you're turning to swing the club, but you're just trying to pick the club up off the ground. And as long as you keep the weight on your left foot, that will encourage you to have a very steep downswing. You hit the sand before the ball and the club just slides under the ball and out it comes. So, a quick little demo on what it should look like. Open club face, open stance. Early wrist cock to pick the club up, and you hit very hard downwards and the ball just pops up into the air. So, no bunker shots are that difficult. When you look at the best players in the world, a lot of the time they will prefer to go into a bunker than trying to chip from out of the rough around the green. Now, this is again very important, the way that you set up to the bunker. As I've already mentioned, you need to stand open. So what we're doing with our body is we're turning it so the line across my toes is pointing well left of the target. I'm aiming here, 5-10 meters left of the flag. I'm going to stand in such a way where the club face is pointing 5, 10 meters right at the flag. You make a swing where you swing on the line of your feet. So I'm actually going to be swinging on a parallel line to my feet. So I'm swinging on this line here. But swinging left with the club face pointing right, if you got your geometry correct, the ball comes out in between those two lines, and that, more or less, points straight at the flag. So, the swing is you stand very open, you swing across the line of the ball with an open club face, and the ball will come out nice and straight. So, a lot of wrist movement to pick the club up, you swing across the line, ball pops up near the flag. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next exciting installment. But in the meantime, if you have any problems, you can always send in a request or a question. You can also send me your swing. You can quite simply send it to my email address or even my WhatsApp, and I will send back a personalized analysis of your golf swing to help you get better.